readable, conserving your energy for what truly matters. It's a very strategic posture.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So learn to wield silence, which flows right into the next big challenge, not taking things personally.
Ah, yes. The tendency to absorb every negative comment, every criticism, like it's a direct reflection of our worth.
It's so easy to do. Someone's rude or critical, and bam, instant self-doubt or anger or hurt.
It's a natural reaction.
Come on in, let's talk about it. Come on in, let's talk about it. Make it make sense.
You know that feeling? When someone's words, or maybe just their bad mood, it just sort of sticks to you.
Oh, absolutely. It can really drag down your whole day, can it?
Yeah, and you find yourself like replaying things, wishing you'd said something different, or not let it get to you.
Such a common thing. I mean,
Yeah.
we're wired to react to people, to negativity. It has this pull.
But the thing that really struck me from the material this week is this core idea: your peace, your happiness, that's yours. It's your space.
Exactly. Nobody else should just get to walk in and mess with it.
Right. We can't always control, what happens out there or what other people do.
But that internal response,
Yeah.
how we react inside, that power is firmly with us.
So that's really the mission for this deep dive, isn't it? Figuring out how to navigate all the stuff life throws at us without letting it wreck our inner calm.
Yeah, building that resilience, that unshakable core, you could say.
And we've got some really interesting angles to cover based on the sources, things like controlling our reactions.
And the power of silence, which is fascinating.
Definitely. And not taking things personally, that's a big one.
Huge. Plus, the importance of your environment, the people around you.
And finally, this idea of mental training, like actively working on our mindset.
Yeah, a whole toolkit for keeping your peace intact.
Okay, let's dig in. First up, controlling reactions. This feels like ground zero for a lot of us. It often feels like emotions just wash over you, right?
Totally. Like they just happen to you. You feel angry, you feel upset, and it seems like an automatic thing.
But the sources we looked at really challenge that idea of being helpless, don't they?
They really do. They frame emotions more as responses. And if they're responses, well, that implies we have some agency, some choice in the matter.
Even that initial flash of anger or frustration.
Well, yeah, the initial feeling might be quick, almost automatic. That's the limbic system firing up. But what happens next?
The spiraling thoughts, the fuming, the lashing out.
Exactly. That part involves more conscious processing.
Yeah.
And that's where the control comes in. With practice, mindfulness, you can actually intercept that reaction.
That traffic example was so clear. Someone gets cut off.
Right.
One driver loses it completely, horn blazing, shouting,
Road rage central.
while the other driver, maybe a shrug, maybe they just slow down slightly, carry on.
Same event. Totally different internal experience.
And the difference, like the source said, is control, or the lack of it.
And realizing you have that ability to choose your response, even in that heated moment, that's incredibly empowering. You're not just a puppet reacting to triggers.
Because, really, what do you gain by blowing up? If someone's trying to annoy you or just being generally awful, getting angry, shouting back, it often just gives them what they wanted, right?
Absolutely. They wanted a reaction. They wanted your energy, your focus, your peace, and you just handed it over.
So they walk away feeling like they won, or at least succeeded in rattling you.
While you're left stewing, carrying all that negative energy, you've basically let them dictate your internal state.
It's such a contrast to just restraint. Like someone's poking, trying to get a rise out of you,
Yeah.
and you just don't bite. Maybe you calmly say something neutral, maybe you just walk away. That feels way stronger.
It is stronger. It's like they're trying to start a fire, and you just refuse to give them any oxygen. It takes real self-control.
And it can totally throw off someone who's expecting that fight, that drama.
Oh, completely. It denies them the fuel they need.
Which ties into that saying, he who angers you controls you. Simple, but wow.
It's profound, isn't it? If someone knows exactly how to push your buttons and get that angry reaction every time.
They effectively own a little piece of your emotional remote control.
They do. They could disrupt your peace whenever they choose.
So this idea of protecting your energy, your peace, treating it like something valuable, almost sacred, like guarding your money.
That's a great analogy. We're careful with our money, right? We don't just give it away to anyone who yells at us.
No way.
So why are we so quick to give away our peace, our mental energy, to provocations or negativity.
Yeah.
It's just as valuable, if not more so.
Yeah, that really reframes it. It's about actively choosing not to spend that valuable resource on pointless negativity.
It's conscious protection.
Yeah.
Choosing restraint, understanding that your reaction is a choice.
Okay. That leads really well into the next point, which seems almost contradictory in today's world. The power of silence.
Ah, yes. We tend to think the loudest person, the one always talking, holds the power.
Right. Volume equals influence, kind of. But the sources suggest something different.
They really do. They position silence not as passivity, but as a form of genuine strength. Real power often lies in knowing when not to speak.
How so? Like demonstrating self-control.
Exactly. Self-control, confidence, a certain inner security. It suggests you're grounded enough that you don't need to constantly react or defend yourself verbally.
You're not easily provoked into pointless arguments.
Precisely. Your calm presence, your deliberate actions, they speak for themselves. You don't feel that compulsion to fill every space with noise.
And that idea that the most dangerous people are often quiet, it kind of makes sense. They're less predictable.
Absolutely. When you're silent, people don't know what you're thinking. Are you agreeing, disagreeing, planning your next move? It makes you unreadable.
Which can be a strategic advantage, I guess.
Definitely. It keeps others guessing, makes them a bit uneasy, perhaps. They can't anticipate you as easily.
And thinking back to what we just discussed, if someone's trying to provoke you, needing that reaction, and you just meet them with silence.
You completely disarm them, you cut off their fuel supply, their provocation just hangs there in the air unmet. It often makes them uncomfortable.
That's powerful. Silence as the ultimate deflector.
It really can be. One source called it the greatest response to nonsense in a noisy world.
I like that. In this constant flood of opinions, arguments, hot takes, choosing silence can actually elevate you.
It signals that you value your energy. You're not going to waste it on trivial battles or unproductive debates. It implies a certain wisdom.
It's not about being withdrawn, is it? It's strategic.
Not at all. It's about choosing your battles. Knowing when engagement is worthwhile and when silence is the more intelligent, more powerful move. Sometimes saying nothing forces others to actually hear their own words.
Makes them reflect. And it keeps you from getting drawn down into the mud.
Exactly. You remain composed, unreadable, conserving your energy for what truly matters. It's a very strategic posture.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So learn to wield silence, which flows right into the next big challenge. Not taking things personally.
Yes. The tendency to absorb every negative comment, every criticism, like it's a direct reflection of our worth.
It's so easy to do. Someone's rude or critical and bam, instant self-doubt or anger or hurt.
It's a natural reaction. But people who seem emotionally unshaken, they've learned something crucial.
What's that?
They understand where that negativity often comes from, and they don't automatically internalize it.
Meaning, it's not always about us.
Very often it's not. Someone's lashing out, being critical, being negative. It's frequently a reflection of their own struggles, their insecurities, their fears, their bad day.
Hurt people, as the saying goes.
Exactly. People who are genuinely happy and secure don't usually feel the need to tear others down. So that negativity is often their own stuff being projected outwards.
The analogy used was like someone trying to hand you a bag of garbage.
Right. Their anger, their bitterness, their issues.
And you have a choice. Do you take the bag and carry it around, letting it stink up your life?
Or do you just politely, or maybe not so politely, refuse to accept it? No thanks, that's yours, not mine.
It's such a clear visual. You don't have to take ownership of someone else's emotional garbage.
You really don't. You can see it, acknowledge it maybe, but you don't have to let it become your burden.
And this idea of emotional detachment comes up here. It sounds a bit cold, maybe?
Yeah, it needs clarification. It's not about being cold or uncaring towards people. It's about detaching from the toxicity, the negativity they might be emitting.
Creating a healthy boundary, then.
Precisely. You can still have empathy, understand they might be struggling, but you don't let their emotional storm become your hurricane.
Because if you do, if you're constantly absorbing everyone else's moods and criticisms,
you have no inner peace. You're basically giving everyone else permission to dictate how you feel. You're handing over your power again.
So the advice is to pause when criticized. Analyze it.
Yeah. Is there a grain of truth here? Is it constructive feedback I can actually use?
Or is it just negativity, jealousy, someone trying to bring you down?
And if it's the latter?
Let it go. Don't take it on board. Don't give it space in your head.
Recognize it for what it is their issue and refuse to internalize it.
The mountain analogy was good too. Be the mountain.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Storms come, winds howl, rain lashes down, but the mountain just stands there,
Yeah.
solid, unmoved. Ah, I see. Let the negativity swirl around you like bad weather, but don't let it shake your core.
Exactly. It passes. You remain grounded.
And it boils down to realizing you are not responsible for fixing other people's emotions or taking on their pain.
That's liberating, actually. You can care, but you don't have to carry it for them.
Their internal world is ultimately their responsibility to manage, just like yours is yours.
So, key takeaway. See negativity for what it often is, a reflection of the other person, and choose not to absorb it. Protect your inner state.
Build that strong sense of self that isn't dependent on external validation or easily wounded by external negativity.
Okay. Now, let's talk about something that shapes us more than we often realize, our environment.
Hugely important.
Yeah.
And it's not just, the physical place, but the people we spend our time with.
The sources really hammer this home. The people you surround yourself with have a massive impact.
Massive. It often happens subtly, subconsciously even.
Like negativity can just seep in over time. Even if you think you're tough, you can handle it.
Absolutely. Constant exposure to complaining, cynicism, doubt.
Yeah.
It can slowly drain your energy, erode your optimism, shift your mindset without you even noticing.
It's like passive smoking for the soul.
Huh. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
You might not be the one complaining, but you're breathing it in constantly.
Which means we need to be really intentional about who we let into our inner circle, right? Actively curate positivity.
It's not just nice to have, it's essential for growth and well-being. You need to consciously build an environment that supports you, lifts you up.
Think about the difference. Being around people who are always negative, finding problems, doubting everything.
It drags you down, makes you feel heavy, maybe even start doubting yourself.
Versus being around people who are driven, optimistic, focused on growth and solutions.
It's contagious in the best way. It inspires you, energizes you, makes you believe bigger things are possible.
And this might mean making some tough calls about relationships.
Yeah, the sources were quite clear. Just because you have history with someone doesn't mean you owe them space in your present if they consistently bring negativity.
That can be hard. Letting go based on shared past.
It can be incredibly hard. But sometimes protecting your own peace and trajectory has to come first. It's self-preservation, not selfishness.
And it's not just people, is it? The environment includes what we consume.
Totally. The news we watch, the social media we scroll through, the books, the shows, it all feeds our mind.
So if your feed is full of outrage and comparison, or the shows you binge are relentlessly bleak,
That's shaping your mental environment just as much as the people you talk to. Choose uplifting, inspiring, positive inputs where you can.
there's also advice about not wasting energy on doubters. Don't try to convince them.
Right. Just focus on your thing. Build your success, achieve your goals, let the results speak for themselves. Arguing with determined skeptics is usually pointless.
Because a positive environment, it acts like a support system, doesn't it? Especially when things are tough.
Absolutely. It reminds you of your strengths, reinforces your belief, offers encouragement when you stumble. It's vital.
And protecting that space, trimming negative influences, it doesn't always need a big announcement or justification.
Not at all. Sometimes you just quietly create distance or unfollow or limit contact. It's about safeguarding your energy, an act of self-respect.
So be deliberate, choose your surroundings, choose your inputs, build a positive ecosystem.
It's a powerful investment in yourself, hands down.
Okay, final piece of the puzzle. Mental training. We hit the gym for our bodies, but what about our minds?
Such a critical point. The mind is arguably our most powerful tool, but like any tool, it needs sharpening. It needs conditioning.
The physical training analogy really works. You wouldn't expect to be physically strong without consistent workouts.
Same for the mind. Mental strength, focus, discipline. They don't just happen. They require daily, consistent effort.
Every choice we make, every thought we entertain, it's kind of like a mental rep, isn't it?
Exactly. Each day, you're either training your mind for discipline, focus, and growth, or you're training it for distraction, excuses, and weakness. It's happening whether you're conscious of it or not.
Like how you start the day. Grab the phone first thing, dive into emails, news, social media.
You're starting reactively, letting the world dictate your mental state from minute one, often with a dose of stress or comparison.
Versus starting with intention. Maybe some quiet time, reading something positive, setting your focus for the day.
That sets a completely different tone. You're taking control, proactively shaping your mental environment before the chaos hits.
So mental training is really about building habits, conditioning the mind.
Yes. And crucially, challenging those limiting beliefs we all carry around. I can't, I'm not good enough. The old patterns.
How do you challenge them effectively?
Awareness is the first step. Catch yourself in the negative thought pattern. Then consciously question it. Is it really true? Where's the evidence? And then actively replace it with a more empowering, realistic thought. Cognitive reframing.
It sounds like hard work initially.
It is. You're essentially reprogramming years of mental habits. But it gets easier with practice, like building any muscle.
Because the alternative is letting the world fill your mind, right?
If you don't consciously control and direct your mind, external forces, media, other people's opinions, general negativity will gladly fill the vacuum.
Leaving you susceptible to doubt and distraction.
Absolutely. An untrained mind gets easily pulled off course. Intentional training builds that inner filter, that resilience.
So we need to feed our minds good stuff. Belief, knowledge, positivity.
Like fuel. Just as your body needs good nutrition, your mind thrives on empowering input. Read things that expand you. Listen to things that inspire you.
And mental resilience isn't about avoiding difficulty, it's about how you handle it.
Exactly. It's about staying focused, disciplined, and finding the lesson even when you face setbacks or challenges, not getting derailed by adversity.
So daily practices are key. Reading, maybe meditation, pushing comfort zones.
And actively managing your thoughts, not letting them run wild in negative loops, choosing where to put your focus.
Taking the reins, essentially. Instead of letting thoughts control you, you control them.
That's the essence of it. It's a fundamental shift from being reactive to being proactive in your own mind.
And the time to start is now, even if it feels tough.
Especially when it feels tough. Discipline isn't built when things are easy. It's forged in the struggle when you choose to do the hard thing anyway.
Because ultimately, mastering your mind
Is the key to mastering your life. Your inner world creates your outer reality in so many ways.
Wow. Okay, so wrapping this all up, the big message seems crystal clear.
Which is,
You are in control. Maybe not of everything out there, but definitely of your inner world. Your emotions, your mindset, your focus, your peace.
yes, life will throw curveballs, people will be difficult, negativity will exist. That's a given.
But these tools controlling reactions, using silence, not taking it personally, curating your environment, training your mind.
They give you the means to navigate all of that without losing yourself, to rise above it.
So protect your peace fiercely. Train your mind daily. Learn to let go of what doesn't serve you. Stay focused on what matters.
Make those conscious choices, moment by moment, day by day, that align with the peace and growth you want.
Choose your influences wisely.
Yeah.
Remember that strength you have inside.
And if you consistently choose that peace, that strength, that focus, that discipline, you're setting yourself up for a life with more confidence, more purpose, a life where ultimately nothing and no one can steal your joy.